Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. Day two of me posting my daily futures trades. Bit of a rough day in the markets today. A couple of really great trades this morning, and then a few rough trades this afternoon. I'll share with you what I've got in a moment. I just thought I'd drop a daily dose of alpha into the start of this intro. Just listen to a podcast. Podcast is Words of Wisdom, and they were interviewing someone called Jared Tendler, I think it is. And I think he wrote a book called The Mental Game of Trading, and apparently it's a really good read. And anyways, they were talking through basically just something that was really prominent to me right now, in the sense that I posted a few videos recently, just sort of talking about how I'm trying to get funded as quickly as possible. He pointed out it's probably not the best approach. We should be approaching the markets, implementing your system consistently, showing consistency, and, just generally getting the practice out of the markets rather than essentially trading all different instruments at any time of the day, just essentially gambling and not following your process properly and practicing your edge. I thought it was quite a relevant point for me because, I have been trying to get funded as quick as possible. Don't want to be in a position where the prop firms look at me and think it's too much of a risk and they can ban you or not fund you properly. Is my understanding. I think that can happen. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with yourselves, and should be taking this combine, the evaluation, if you're doing one yourself. I guess the idea would be to actually just practice your system, implement it properly, consistently, and hopefully take away profits at the end of the day, and then get funded, and show the people that you're asking for money for, essentially, that you can make money for them and yourself. Yeah, I thought I'd share that. So anyways, let's jump into the trades. First trade here was a Nasdaq range scalp. I sat watching the range for a little while. Thought I would jump in and see if I could just scalp the range. So I've just got the fill on the Nasdaq scalping short. I'm going to draw this. This is roughly what I'm thinking here. Trying to scalp this range. 7.5, 7.5. Getting quite a big push up straight off the bat. But anyway, so it's 370 point. 370.5 to take profit and stop at 35. Sorry, other way around. 355.75 is take profit. 355 point. Somehow just about managed to avoid the first stop attempt, and now heading back to the bottom of the range. We'll see if we can get the fill. We got the fill. Look at that. Scalper's paradise. Second trade of the day was another range scalp on the ES Mini. Getting that 6397.75. If I can get it. Got the fill. Getting a strong push up again straight away. 6397.75. What's nice about this, famous last words, but obviously the stop here is aligning quite nicely with the overnight session value area low, which obviously in this current session is shown as expensive pricing. Quite a nice wide stop on one contract. Was just looking for a bit of a bearish play because the day started off just ranging and then start to dip below previous day value area high. So yeah, hoping for a bearish play here. We'll see how we get on. In hindsight, having zoomed out and looked at this again, my feeling is it's going to be stopped out. Obviously it was quite a push up over the overnight session, and yeah, I mean, obviously it came down, tested the previous day value area high one, two, three times before pushing up again. So I could have been wrong in my read. I think, yeah, we shall see. Always interesting to learn, and yeah, when in doubt, zoom out, as they say. Especially as now we've got a really nice confluence here where we've got the current session area low actually aligning with the value area high of the previous day. So it would have been nice to actually get along in here, but I don't think that would have been the case had when I started the... What's going on with that? Oh, that's because it's on extend, isn't it? What's going on? I'll redraw that. So I got in about here, and yeah, it was in a bit of a different range at that point, but as it's pushed on up, there's been a nice alignment with the current, which is now pushing up anyways. But anyway, here we go, here comes the stop. A little bit of fast forwarding here, and this trade ended up getting stopped out. Funnily enough, as with yesterday, looks like I got stopped out on news around trade deals once again. Seems to be the way with these markets, but anyways, lots of learning. Next trade was a gold short, and I ended up sitting in this trade for about an hour and then got stopped out. But yeah, I'll put the clip in and then we can talk through what happened after that. Just entered the trade at the previous day value area high, and yeah, it's kind of come down, tested it a couple of times, and looks to be on a general downtrend, so we'll see how we get on. I'm in the trade at 368.3. It's been quite a big move down, probably not exactly a high probability trade at the moment, but I'm following the trend and thought it worth a shot. I guess I'll put my stop in at let's mark this up. Stopping at 3370.2. We'll do it one tick above, so it'd be the previous day value area. So the current session low, so 3370.4. And I will put my, I don't know, I'm going to stick it down. I mean, the previous week point of control is at 3359.2. Obviously that seems somewhat optimistic, but let's stick it down there for now and see how we get on. I'm expecting a retest of the value area high. Here it comes. So if I mark that up, 3359.5, 3359.5. There you go. That's the retest. Got about $220 on risk here, and about $870 profit if it continues down and reaches the target, which, yeah, as I said, seems optimistic. break even. I mean, stop hit. Oh well. Then following that painful hour-long trade to get stopped out, I decided to jump in to try another range trade. Got in at 369.5. Stop was at break even, so risking nothing right now. 369.5. Take profit at 3367.5. 3367.5. And then took one last trade on the morning session. After watching that range for an hour, I was probably to argue I was revenge trading, but yeah, just trying out a new bit of a scalping technique, and yeah, obviously worked out pretty well. Moving up again, moving the stops up to the bottom of the last candle, and it stopped. That was a nice $300 odd profit there. Daily P&L was sitting at 508. That's me taking a break. My afternoon then took a turn for the worse with the US trading hours. On the open, I was expecting a down move. Sorry, I was expecting an up move. The COT data is indicating that the Russell is, commercials along Russell. I was hoping for a push up after the positive trade news we had with the potential EU deal. That was not the case. I entered at 2 shorts, didn't capture them on video, but ended up negative 500. So I ended up minus 500. Sorry, so I lost all my profit from the morning and then lost another $500. I've now just had a final last trade of probably of the day on the Russell, where I've got back about $100, so about 350 negative for the day. So I've entered the Russell on a long with 2 contracts. Not quite what I intended it to do. Forgot that I had 2 still selected. So yeah, not ideal. And I'm risking 380 on this trade. I also already got stopped out on a trade a minute ago on the Russell again. Guess my thesis for an uptrending market today is not happening, and I'm about to get stopped out again. Yeah. So just noticed PMI came out 49.5 versus 52.9 in June. Definitely impacted the Russell trade. These things happen. So reflections from the day. Start the video talking about how I need to practice my system, and then I go and ignore it in the afternoon trading. It's really difficult to stick to, keep the focus, I think. I mean, that's part of the game with this is actually being able to maintain focus, stick to your system. I know for sure that my bias on expecting the Russell to be an uptrending market today made me enter 2 long trades on the Russell, expecting it to trend up, and both. It's actually, looking at it now, the last trade I just took was a short, and the Russell is trending down for the day. So I had a bias expecting an uptrending market and ignored my own system that I'm using at the moment, which I'll go into in another video. But yeah, I completely ignored that, expected one thing, entered 2 trades, lost all of my profit for the day and a negative 500. I've fortunately made back another like 150 or something like that since, so only minus 350 for the day. But yeah, so psychology behind this is is difficult, and I think, you know, I might well set myself a trade limit per day. You know, I know that would be really beneficial. I'd have been better off just not trading the afternoon session today. Um, Directly again, going back to the whole, you know, trying to get funded as quickly as possible, but you know, it's counteractive by over trading. I'm definitely over trading, and and I'm not following my system. So yeah, lots of learning today. It's been a good day and a bad day, but you know, all in good spirits. Let me know if you have any thoughts, suggestions, comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, hopefully see you guys in the next one. Cheers.